Well, let's talk about Jackie Brown. Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. What did you think?
The only thing I want to talk about is the hats. There is one scene where both leads are wearing the same kind of hat, and the hat is very prominent.
Yeah, Kangal,
I didn't understand that.
Oh, you didn't understand that?
Well, no, I mean, I didn't. I just wonder if you want to talk about
no. The thing is, believe me, if this was ever a case of not product placement, all right, we were calling up Kangal and saying, because, like, they couldn't believe how much we were using the hats, all right? So I call up Kangal, like, you got to give us more hats. Trust me, when you see the movie, you're going to be really happy, all right? And they just couldn't believe it. But the thing is, Kangal is just so huge in black culture right now. If you go to any mall, all right, where there's a lot of black people at, you're going to see a sea of Kangal hats. One, it's like, that's totally Ordell's character. You know, he just has a color for every suit he has. That's just his color. And Sam Jackson has the same amount of Kangals, or in the same assortment of colors. And I wear a lot of Kangal. But the thing about it, though, is Jackie would have a Kangal hat. All right? It's like they're that popular in the black community.
Thank you.
What else about it? Did you like the movie?
That's all I want to talk about.
Did you like it?
Wait a minute, Charlie. What are you...
All right, I'll let you pass.
Get serious.
No, go ahead.
Okay,
This is what... I mean, see, I think this is a great idea when you mean get serious. I think it's a great idea to have a critic and have a chance to talk. I mean, the point here is to review movies not just to review Quentin's movie. But it seems to me that dialogue between critics and directors is not a bad idea. It's a good idea.
I would like to point out that we don't usually do this.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll say, since my review's already appeared,
Yeah.
I think it's a tall tale. It's a little long. It's funny. It's very much like Quentin, you know.
Yeah.
I think he writes great scenes. I would expect in 10 years to see these in one of those actors scenes books. Mm-hmm. To me, there's not much in between.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny because I'm noticing from, like, getting an idea, well, you know, hearing different reviews, hearing different reactions from critics, there's basically becoming like this big bone of contention when it comes to the movie. This one thing where either critics feel this way about it or they feel this way about it. And the this way and that way is not whether or not it's good or bad. The this way or that way is it too long? All right, I have some critics who think the film is too long, and I have other critics who are like, yes, man, this is a breath of fresh air. No one paces a movie like this anymore. All right, and so I have defenders and I have detractors on the length issue. And the thing is, that's totally fine, because I knew exactly what I was doing. I would like it, though, if the critics who don't like it because they think it's too long, all right, what I'd like is at least give me the credit for, like, not making a mistake. I meant to do that, all right? You know, I meant the movie you saw. I'm really trying to pace a film differently than the average cinema is made. I wanted the film to truly have the feeling that I have when I read an Elmore Leonard novel when I'm finished with it. And that feeling is truly getting to hang out with the characters. I mean, like, hang out with them, where they're not like movie characters, or they're being introduced in a movie kind of way. I mean, like, the movie's 2.5 hours long. The first hour of the movie is just getting to know who these people are. The first hour is just living with them, you know? And I use as an example Rio Bravo. That's what Rio Bravo is. It's just kind of hanging out with them. That was 2.5 hours long too, and it had even thinner story than I do. But the thing is, but I don't mind it. I love it. But the thing is, though, you don't even realize a plot necessarily, and you guys can disagree with me on this. You're not necessarily hearing a plot being hammered into place during that hour, but after the first hour, all of a sudden, you kind of are being told a story. And from that point on, it just starts doing its thing. But I attempted to just really dive into characterization. And I think that time I spent with the characters is what makes the end scene work. That's what brings emotion in the end scene.
David.
In defense of the methodical nature of the thing, you're seeing characters who are caught in complex situations where they're lying and telling the truth at the same time, or telling part of the truth and part of a lie. And so you're watching them trying to sort things out on their feet. And that takes time. I mean, you have to see that in depth. I mean, I think people are a little surprised that it's not as formally inventive as Pulp Fiction, that it's very methodical, that it doesn't speed up much at the climax, that you want us to understand every single moment of what those people are going through, right? So there may be some disappointment. I mean, I found it very interesting.
All right. Let me move on, and we'll come back to some other things.
I want to know what Janet has to say.
Well, I can't put her on. The reason I can't put her on the spot
is... I'm not trying to make him put her on the spot. I just got,
What? No, absolutely not.
I'm not picking on you, Janet.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. I understand, but you know,
because
I'm not
we're
gonna do
here,
it.
the principle that you take refuge in is what?
I haven't written it yet.
Oh, okay, fine.
And I could
That's
tell
fine.
you right. No, that isn't it really. It's that I don't think it's good for Quentin or for me to discuss directly what a review is going to say. I just don't think that's
Before it appears or after it
I wasn't
appears?
even thinking. I'm not thinking
Even
about the review. I'm
after-
thinking
even
about the
after
tape.
it
But after
appears.
that's what really want.
even after it
not.
appears. You know, I just it's not just not a thing I'm in the habit of doing. Although he knows very well, we had a wonderful first meeting right before Pulp Fiction opened. I'm crazy about his work, but I just don't talk directly to
director.
filmmakers.
You don't think it's a good idea for a critic to have dialogue with a director?
No, I don't.
Okay, fine. I'm just asking what it is that's on the table here in terms of that kind of thing. Moving on.